Fedor, a man who has taken unthinkable tragedy and transformed it into a beautiful life of perseverance, of faith, and of family. Scott's humor and passion inspire and lift his friends, his caregivers, and many other spinal cord injury patients, some of whom he mentors. The truth is, though, Scott's goodness has lived inside of him from the beginning. There's a Bible verse that Scott learned at St. Ignatius High School, and he stuck it in his wallet. And it was there even up until a few years ago, the day he broke his neck, 20 years after graduation. Scott embodies this intrinsically. It's from Romans chapter 8, verse 18. St. Paul says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Believe me when I tell you, Scott is revealing God's glory through his life. If only the Jesuits could be such evangelists as Scott. Thank you, Scott, for inspiring us, for the work of your foundation, for your companionship. I will warn you before Scott comes and speaks, Scott will take you by storm. He is funny, articulate, joyful, hopeful, philanthropic, kind, generous, patient, humble, and graceful. I often tell our current Ignatius students that if they want to know what we're trying to get them to do with their lives, they need to look no farther than our alumni. Scott, we are incredibly proud to call you one of our own at St. Ignatius. Thank you for accepting this award from Boys Hope, Girls Hope. As a rising pillar of hope, your work, Scott, has just begun. And know that we are with you. Please join me in congratulating the rising pillar of hope, Scott Fedor.
It's a major diving injury, paralyzed, it seems, from the neck down. I'll ask you my name to quit. Scott's a man of faith, he's a man of character, and he wouldn't settle for that, he never has.
The person that Scott was before the accident he's exactly the same person. He's always had a strong determination, the ability to inspire and lead people, and no matter what he's doing in his life,
he's very real and honest and transparent, but he has an unwavering determination to help people and to do good things.
Scott takes time to help so many people. He's got a really broad base on the internet that a lot of people who suffer the same kind of injury can go to him for help and for hope. I think he's such a calming presence. He makes everybody around him feel better, so then even if they're hurting, they can have a better day. His spirit is so strong, and he just teaches so much in it, and it's nice to be around him.
It's really inspires me that he's trying to get better, and I want to help him. Scott taught me to never give up.
You know, Scott taught me that you can't be sad for me. You have to be happy for me, and be happy about the things I can do and I'm going to do. I think it's a blessing that he's in our lives.
Scott's foundation is basically a fundraiser to support other people in their need that are disabled, quadriplegics and paraplegics, raising funds and awareness for the research, for medical equipment, facilities, for rehabilitation, and all the different services and programs out there.
When you look at Scott and you see what he's accomplishing, the way he touches people directly and indirectly, his blogs, his website, and you say if he can do all of that with the physical limitations he has, which he just simply won't allow this change.
Since I've known Scott, his ability is to inspire me and become a better person, and to always try to do the best at anything in life that I'm faced with.
Scott and Boys Hope have something in common because everybody needs to have a chance, and a lot of the doctors didn't give Scott a chance, but he kind of proved them wrong, and I think it's nice for the kids at Boys Hope and Girls Hope to have a chance. Somebody does believe in them here, which is nice, and it's not always what Scott had, but he was able to rise above it anyway.
Scott is an inspiring hope and restoring faith, really through this incredible determination to make a difference.
Thank you very much. Very, very touching tribute. I thank the Boys Hope, Girls Hope for putting that together. Figured since Mike ended with a joke about the Jesuits, I would lead off with a joke about the Jesuits. And it's not so much as a joke as it is a pillar of truth. And I heard this the other day, but being a St. Ignatius man and being privileged to have Father Murphy introduce me here as being the president of St. Ignatius, I heard this the other day. And how do you know if someone went to St. Ignatius? Give them a minute and they'll tell you. I want to thank the board, obviously, and the staff for this great honor, as well as the students and the scholars, and feel very, very humbled and privileged to accept this award and join you and become part of your community. And when I was first presented this award by Father Murphy, Dan, Tim Grady, when they came out and presented me the award and let me know that I had been nominated and had received this great honor, I joked with them that it kind of felt like receiving a Nobel Prize, from the standpoint that unless you win the award, you never even know that you were nominated for it. And I feel very, very honored to have won this award, not because I won it, but because I was nominated, and that allowed me to really learn about this great organization. And I hate to say it, but had I not received this honor tonight, I might not have come across Boys Hope, Girls Hope, and everything they're doing, and these great scholars, and everything that they're achieving. And I've had the privilege of being out here a couple times now to have dinner with them, to meet them, to talk with them. And every time I leave, I'm constantly blown away by just their commitment to excellence, their maturity, their intelligence, and the fact that these are a lot of boys and girls and young men and young women that probably would have been written off. And had they not had the opportunity and the chance to have people believe in them, people support them, and give them that opportunity for a better education, which I'm absolutely 100% convinced will lead to doing great things for all of us and for society, that they might not have done that. And I want to thank all of you and the current supporters, the past supporters who have helped these scholars. And really, this award is as much as I feel honored and privileged to be joining them. It really is about them. And I've really formed a bond with a lot of them. And I wish they could all be up here with me accepting this, because they inspire me. And I often tell people that I come across, everyone asks me, or will tell me, we're so inspired by you, Scott. And I ask them, I say, okay, well, how? Because for me, inspire, the core definition of it means to act. And you may tell me you're inspired by me, but unless you act on it and you do something, then you're doing a disservice to myself as well as to yourself. So if you're going to be inspired, you're going to move someone to act. And I think the scholars here and what Boys Hope, Girls Hope is doing certainly embodies that whole idea of being inspired. And just in closing, I want to reiterate the Bible verse, the scripture verse that Father Murphy shared with you and stole my thunder, kind of. But what I will share with you is a little bit about this story. And that verse, Romans 8:18, it was 1992, I was 16 years old, kind of giving away my age here. And at the sophomore in high school at St. Ignatius. And I remember reading a Sports Illustrated article about Dennis Bird, who was the defensive tackle for St. Ignatius, for the New York Jets. And he broke his neck during a football game. And he said when he woke up in the hospital, really not remembering much of what had happened up until that point, he looked up and above his bed was a poster with the scripture verse inscribed, Romans 8:18, which says, "For I reckon the sufferings of the present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us." And I was so moved by that verse here at 16 years old, I decided to write it down and literally typed it up on a typewriter and carried it in my wallet. And almost for the next 20 years of my life, not a day went by where at some point in time I wasn't reminded of that. And I wasn't moved to remember that stuff may happen, but better things are on the horizon if we just trust in the Lord and believe in His plan for us. So I wrote that down and carried it with me. And here, almost 20 years later, I woke up in a hospital after breaking my neck. And one of the very first things I remember was looking up, and that exact same verse on a poster was hanging above my bed. And I always tell people, I'll leave it up to you to interpret or to read into what that means to you. But for me, it tells me that God does have a plan for us. And if we're patient and we trust in His plan, the glory that's within us will be revealed. And I think Romans 8:18, not only is it something I take to heart and take comfort in, but for me it really embodies Boys Hope, Girls Hope. And just like the doctors gave up on me, a lot of these scholars were giving up on. But God had a plan for them. And the sufferings that they may have went through up until various points of their life pale in comparison to the glory that is and will be continued to be revealed in them. So I just want to, again, thank everyone for this wonderful, wonderful honor. I'm proud, honored, privileged to be a part of this great community, and would encourage you, if you haven't done so yet, to really get to know these kids and what they offer and everything that's being revealed in their glory for us through them, because that truly is inspiration to me and something that I go forward hoping that I can only live up to the charge and the spirit of this award that they've recognized me with. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.